Hello, and welcome to Pittsburgh City Council's regular meeting for Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019. My name is Kim Clark Baskin, and I'm the Deputy City Clerk. With us today, we have our sign language interpreter, Nick Miller. The following is a list of legislation to be presented by Pittsburgh City Council. Reverend Ricky Burgess presents Bill number 1595. Resolution authorizing the mayor and the city solicitor to enter into an agreement for the hiring of SciComm Data Systems, Inc. to continue maintaining and upgrading City Law, the Department of Law's legal case management and administrative support software. Cost not to exceed $11,346. Bill number 1596. Resolution providing for the sale of certain property acquired by the City of Pittsburgh at tax sales, items A through G. 2602 Webster, 7131 and a half Vassar, 7626 and 7728 Susquehanna, 622 Grace, 2 Noblestown, and 2925 Hartman. Bill number 1597. Resolution providing for the filing of petitions for the sale of certain property acquired at tax sales to a City of Pittsburgh-based community development corporation for the purpose of advancing the interests of the community through redevelopment, items A through J. 401 Rosedale, 845 Excelsior, 1611 Antrim, 3306 Fleming, 1513 Antrim, 3259, 3261, 3267, 3269, and 3271 McClure. Bill number 1598. Resolution providing for the conveyance by the City of Pittsburgh of certain property having been placed for sale to adjoining property owners in conjunction within the City Side Yard Program, items A through L. 5221 Hillcrest, 415 North Graham, 427 Vandalia, 627 Chess, 155 Fairview, 800 Freedmore, 0 Marquise, 1614 Brighton, 1518 Brighton, 3809 Bonaventure, 2717 Staten, and 2719 Staten. Councilwoman Deb Gross presents Bill number 1599. Resolution providing for the designation as a historic structure under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances that certain structure known as the Southside Presbyterian Church, located at 1926 Sarah Street in the Southside neighborhood, 17th Ward. Councilwoman Darlene Harris presents Bill number 1600. Resolution providing that the City of Pittsburgh enter into a professional services agreement and/or contracts with PSI Services, Talent Management, and Education for professional consulting services in connection with police officer recruit, candidate examination, and selection services, and providing for the payment of the cost thereof over a 3-year period, subject to appropriation by City Council, cost not to exceed $225,000. Councilman Corey O'Connor presents Bill number 1601, resolution providing for an agreement providing for the design, repairs, maintenance, improvements, emergencies, and/or purchase of materials, supplies, and equipment in connection with the I-579 CAP project, and providing for the payment not to exceed $31,675,054. Bill number 1602, resolution amending Resolution 468 of 2018, approved July 2nd, 2018, authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement with the Sports and Exhibition Authority of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County in order to disperse certain funds to city for and to facilitate construction of the I-579 CAP project in order to provide authorization to acquire certain additional funding to facilitate the construction. Councilwoman Teresa Kell Smith presents Bill number 1603, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to enter into a professional services agreement between City of Pittsburgh and Winston Design Development for architectural and engineering design for a series of interior remodels of 6 fire stations within the City of Pittsburgh, cost not to exceed $407,872.66. Bill number 1604, resolution amending Resolution 438 of 2018 to extend the proposed term duration of a new lease agreement between the City of Pittsburgh and Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Garden for the Scaife Garage and Garden Center facility. Bill number 1605, resolution granting unto Deborah Harden at 1804 Chislett Street their successors and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense a handicap ramp with handrail and landing at 1804 Chislett Street, 10th Ward, 7th Council District. Bill number 1606, resolution providing for the use of an agreement and/or contract with ACOM Technical Services, Inc., Controller's Contract 51851, in order to assist the city with traffic support services, cost not to exceed $30,689.89. And Council President Bruce Kraus presents Bill number 1607, resolution appointing Alicia Carberry as the Commissioner of the Shade Tree Commission of the City of Pittsburgh, term to expire May 31st, 2021. That concludes the reading of the legislation for today. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of Pittsburgh City Council for today, Tuesday, April the 23rd, 2019. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess, Mr. Coghill.
Here.
Ms. Gross, Mrs. Harris.
Here.
Mr. Lavelle.
Here.
Mr. O'Connor.
Here.
Mrs. Kell Smith, Ms. Strasburger, Mr. Kraus, President.
Here.
5 members present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we ask that you would please remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you very much. You may be seated. So if you're wondering why we have special guests on the dais today, once again, I have the honor this year of presenting our proclamation for Take a Father to School Day, and we are joined by any number of special guests First, I will lead by reading the proclamation. I'll turn it over then to Mark, and we will hear from a number of our different invited guests. But the proc begins as such. Whereas May 17th, 2019 has been designated as the 21st annual Take a Father to School Day in the Pittsburgh Public Schools. And whereas this annual event involves every branch of the Pittsburgh Public School District, has attracted annually over 6,000 fathers and male guardians for the last 5 years, and whereas it is important to include positive male role models in the definition of father for the purpose of highlighting the inclusive nature of this event. And whereas the goal of Take a Father to School Day is to bring men into the school building to establish better communications with schools, understand that they are welcomed in school, and explore opportunities for volunteering and becoming more involved in their child's education. Research suggests that the involvement of fathers exerts a distinct and independent influence on whether children ever repeat a grade, get mostly A's, enjoy school, and participate in extracurricular activities. And whereas Pittsburgh Public Schools would like to acknowledge this year's partners, the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Literacy Pittsburgh, as well as the men's groups and a variety of organizations that have continued to support the success of this initiative. Pittsburgh Public School Board of Directors, 100 Black Men of Western Pennsylvania, Allegheny Family Network, Alpha Pi Alpha Fraternity, Inc., Destiny International Ministries, Family Services of Western Pennsylvania, Fathers Collaborative Council of Western Pennsylvania, Garfield Gators Youth Football, Men's Ministry Mentoring Initiative, St. Mark's AME Zion Church, Early Childhood Education Program Male Fatherhood Involvement Initiative, Lawrenceville United, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, Trying Together, Rodman Street Baptist Church Men's Group, Small Seeds Development, State Representative Ed Gainey, and the Honorable Dwayne D. Woodruff. So now, therefore, be it resolved that this Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend the thousands who participate and urges all members of the Pittsburgh School District community to actively support and participate in this worthwhile event. And be it even further resolved that this Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Friday, May the 19th, to be Take a Father to School Day here in the City of Pittsburgh. May I have a motion and a second, please?
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Great work. Okay. Mark, may I turn it over to you, please? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, and thank you, members of council. I want to make one correction. I believe Friday should be the 17th. Okay, is that correct? Okay, that's correct. Thank you so much. We're here once again to kick it off, our 20th, really the 21st, Take a Father to School Day. We, as fathers and men, are simply saying that we are doing our jobs to make the Pittsburgh Public Schools the best school district in the country. And to do that, you have to give up the time. And so for this particular event, what we simply ask is for fathers to take one day off. That's a personal day, vacation day, or whatever. Come to the Pittsburgh Public Schools. You can go to any of the Pittsburgh Public Schools and find out what the activities are. And we're asking that you make yourselves available to the administrations at each individual schools. Now, the process is when you go into that building, we honor the school by recognizing the principal, reporting to the principal's office. We ask for our men to be respectful, and of course, we move their hats and dress and look appropriate, and also to keep in mind that you are on display. So your conduct is very, very important on that day. After that, the principal will then direct you to where you need to go for that particular activity. So we've been doing this for 21 years. Extremely proud because the administration has always bent over backwards to support this. As another reminder, many of you are well aware, in 2012, we were here as well. 2012, this program received its national recognition by the National School Boards Association for our best practices in getting men active and getting men involved. So we're excited to have that recognition, but I have a few folks that I'd like to identify. We're going to ask for them to say a few words, but I'd like to start with Dr. Anderson, who is here from the administration. If you would come and say a few words, please.
Wow, 21 years. I'm not even that old yet. So that's a long commitment, and we appreciate the commitment in PPS. And our schools and our leaders of our schools are fortunate to have these fathers come in. I've been involved for the last 3 years, and it is a very, very inspirational program for the children that are served. And many of these fathers come in and they embrace other students whose fathers didn't have the opportunity to take the day off. Also, I want to say thank you to Pitt University. Their athletic program comes in, and they actually fill in because fathers aren't able to take the day off. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for taking the opportunity to meet with our children. I see many of these faces every day, and I know this is an annual event, but I embrace parents coming in each and every day to spend time and help motivate children. We need that, not only in our schools, but also in our communities. So take this time to also embrace children as you see them walking down the street, and just motivating them to stay steadfast and deal with the many issues they face today. So again, I would want to say thank you, and on behalf of Dr. Hamlet, I would say he's all into this program. Our board's all into this program. Our leaders all throughout our buildings are all into this program. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anderson, and we really appreciated your support over the years. Next, I want to recognize none of this would be possible without the vote and support from members of the board, and I believe we do have 2 board members here. I don't want to put them on the spot, but if they are willing to say something, we would love to hear from them. Dr. Holly and Director Cindy Falls, would you, anything?
Yep.
Doc?
Sure.
Thank you. We're excited to be a part of this event. This event is really one of our stellar activities that we do throughout the school year. We embrace families within our school district, and we especially want to make sure that fathers and father figures are a part of the work that we do with our students on a daily basis. And I want to thank Mr. Brentley for having the stamina to do this every year. And I say stamina because it takes a lot of work to put on this event. So we want to say thank you. And he's very modest because the National School Boards Association, especially our CUBE organization, that's the Council of Urban Boards of Education, actually use this as a stellar model for how you can actually get more parental involvement. We always want to have men within our schools, and we want to show our young men that are in our schools that they can become whatever they want to be by the dreams of others and the dreams that they have. And I want to say thank you so much for City Council for having us do this each year.
Thank you so much, Dr. Holly. We'd like to take a moment and to recognize, every year we reach out and ask for partners, individuals and agencies in the city who will partner with us, who kind of buy into what we're doing. A lot of times their mission is to do almost the same thing but at a different level. And so we're proud this year to, of course, bring back our partner, the folks from Carnegie Library. Do we have anybody here with us today? We do? Anybody here? Would you folks be willing to say a few words? We won't put you on the spot. Okay. Well, the Carnegie Library, and of course, last year we had them, and our goal was to get 100 fathers to sign up for library cards. We came close, and so this year we're going to finish it because, remember, for fathers spending quality time for children, even if you're unemployed, the library is a great place. and you can spend quality time. The other partners that I want to introduce is the folks from Literacy Pittsburgh, and they can also take a moment to talk about the name change. Scott Bartlett, would you come and say a few words for us, please?
Morning. I am Scott Bartlett. I'm a board member on the Literacy Pittsburgh. Again, we are proud to be a first-year sponsor of this Take a Father to School. And we all know that a parent and obviously a father is the first and best teacher for our children. We also know that that sets up lifetime learning. And Literacy Pittsburgh is dedicated to preparing adults to serve into that role. We've been doing that since 1982, formerly Greater Pittsburgh Literacy Council, or GPLC, now Literacy Pittsburgh. So since 1982, last year more than 4,600 students were prepared and brought through, given a second chance, many learning basic reading skills and others getting GED, preparing again to serve in that role as really the foundation for, one, helping them be set for life as they go in, and then obviously being in a better position to make an impact in their children's life. So again, on behalf of Literacy Pittsburgh and this great program, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Literacy Pittsburgh. We've also had a partner over the years, the folks from the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I think Chris Giganter is here. Chris, would you say a few words, please, about the Pirates and your commitment?
Hello. On behalf of the Pirates, I'm incredibly thankful and honored to be here, and we're excited to be welcomed back here. Last year, we were able to take part in actually a few activities at two of the elementary schools here for the Take a Father to School Day, and it was an incredibly valuable experience for our coaches and other members of our administration who were able to go. And we're big supporters in a lot of the educational programs that PPS does, and in the case of this one, there's such a valuable tool in the way fathers can bond with their kids through education, and we also support the fact that sports can be another one of those vehicles to connect with kids and spend some quality time with them, teaching them valuable lessons. And for those reasons, among other, we're incredibly thankful to be a part of this program. And thank you to all the men who are here today supporting this program. Thank you again.
Thank you. Well, we thank you, Chris, and we thank the Pirates every year. Also with the Pirates and with the Pirate Parrot, if you're here, just lean your hand up and lean back or wherever you are. Say something. Where is he? He's here. Oh, the Penguin guy is here. Okay, black and gold. Wale, put your hands up in the air. Well, we're glad to have you guys here. And also, I was going to just mention the support from the Penguins who are here also. And so the point that we're trying to say is this is an all-in kind of thing that we do, and we all should be that way when it comes to children and when it comes to Pittsburgh public schools. Well, I'd like to bring up at this time Brother Melvin L., and he's going to direct folks to our litany of commitment. This is what we read every year. It is important for our children who are watching, our mothers who are watching, that we publicly acknowledge our support for children. We publicly acknowledge our support for our parents, our mothers, and remember, as I've said every year, if the mothers in the Pittsburgh public schools were to take a day off, the district would fail like yesterday, okay, because they've held things together. They've been taking care of business. They've been members of the PTAs, the PTOs, and the PSCCs. This event that we do every year is nothing more but a call to duty. To step up, and get out, men. It is not only your job, but it's your responsibility to do your part and help raising the children. So, Brother Melvin L., where are you? If you would come forward and identify the folks. And the way this works is, he'll explain that to you.
Good morning. It's also always a pleasure to be here for this event. I just wanted to say all these years, Mark, my last name is Eel.
Thank you.
That's all right. It's a real honor, this litany of commitment, and we're going to call some of the men from down the audience to come and read this. But if I may, Mark, for just a few minutes, just want to also just say this. This may have been on yours, and I'm sorry if it's on your agenda, but it's on my heart to say this. Just wanted to thank some of the other folks that's been involved with this. Is that all right, Mark?
Yes, sir.
First, I want to call out Sister Linnell Reed for her help last year and this year, as she always does. Also, Sister Mercedes Williams for her ongoing support all the time. And also Sister Ebony Pugh, who's always behind us helping us. Just briefly, I just wanted to also shout out to Brother Larry Meadows behind us for his help this year. And also the committee, which is Brandon Phillips. Throw your hands up, Brandon. Mark Brentley Jr., Brother Dwayne Barker, Mr. Henry Struthers, who's with us today, and also to Mr. Mike Nichols, who's not with us today. So with that said, and if I can, I want to shout out to my main supervisor, Brother Ed Gaines, State Representative. It wouldn't be right not to recognize the state rep, huh? Huh? All right, let me hear you now. Anyway, this litany, I'm going to call them in down because I know you want to get finished with this portion and have them come down and do this. First, we're going to ask Jason Rivers to come down, Brother Ian, Brother Dwayne. Just come down front here, y'all, when your name's called in that order. Then Brother George Fleming. And the way this is going to be read, Jason's going to be the first presider reading this. And in the body of this, to the men in the audience, if you have copies of this, where it says members, we read that together. And then there's another part on here that says members. We'll read that together. And at the end, in unison, we'll read the last part. All right? Right now, I'm going to call up Brother Jason Rivers.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Litany of Commitment, written by Dr. Wayne Walters, Deputy Superintendent, Assistant Superintendent, School Transformation, Pittsburgh Public Schools. We dedicate the 2019 Take a Father to School Day to the involvement of fathers and father figures in the education of their children and to the collaborative support of educators and other stakeholders.
We rejoice that fathers and father figures, students, educators, and supporters are assembled under the banner of the Pittsburgh Public Schools Take a Father to School Day. We ask for guidance as we grow in our development concerning the importance and impact of fathers and father figures, and our need to embrace relationships and resources for the benefit of our children we love and cherish dearly.
To the honor of the community and to all of those who share a responsibility in raising our youth. To the administrators, teachers, parents, and community leaders who are responsible for the quality of education for our children.
We dedicate the 2019 Public Schools Take a Father to School Day.
To overcome the low levels of performance and the need for us to visualize, actualize, internalize, conceptualize, and realize that we are the critical piece in a child's physical, social, emotional, artistic, and cognitive development.
We raise our collective voices with a sense of urgency to say, feel, believe, and show to all that we are here, we are proud, and we are committed.
To the call for new and extended independent initiatives in education, where fathers and father figures can be regularly seen, heard, and represented throughout the educational system.
We pledge our commitment as fathers and father figures to do what is necessary for ourselves, our children, our future, as we understand that some things we must do for ourselves. Many who shed blood in life years to bring us to this point are grateful for this opportunity. We dedicate ourselves to our children, our future by continually serving as positive representations of fathers and father figures in Pittsburgh. We acknowledge that both our presence and presence speak volumes to our children and pledge to continually make a difference in the life of a child.
And folks, that's our commitment. Brother Melvin, you did steal some of my thunder, but you left me some. And I do want to acknowledge, when it comes to elected officials, I think for the last 8, maybe 10 years, we've always been able to count on one elected official, and that is his giving up his time, giving up his employees, if it's printing or whatever. He has always made a commitment to that. And once again, he is here today. So I'm going to ask Ed Gainey if you would come up and say a few words for us, please.
Good morning, City Council. First, I want to thank you for having us. Mark, I want to thank you because, again, for 21 years you've done this. This is your commitment to being a father and also a father figure, as you just stated, to every child in the school district and throughout this region to bring men together to show just how important a father is. So I want to say thank you, and to all the other men that helped put this together, I appreciate you. I do. Because one thing that we know, and I think this is universal as far as I'm concerned, you know, I come from a single mom, but I'm a father. And when I see the difference that I make in my children's lives every single day, it's a blessing to be able to call, when you hear your child call you daddy. I mean, when you hear a child call you daddy, it just changes your whole day. You could walk in the room and come home from work, and we done all had these days where you come in and you just like, I don't want to do nothing. And you hear that word called daddy. As soon as you hear that word called daddy, your whole demeanor changes. And if we put daddies in school along with mamas that's held it down for so long, we could end the cycle of violence, create a nature of peace, and really improve the environment. But really, that's where it starts with. It starts with our children and our commitment to them. So again, I just want to thank Mark and his staff for all you've done over the 21 years, and continue to bless Pittsburgh.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Ed. And we really appreciate your support over the years. Finally, I want to just let council members know traditionally what we do here. And first of all, each of you received a Take a Father to School Day t-shirt. Also, we've included the directories, thanks to the staff over here who worked like you wouldn't believe to make sure that we had every school identify what they were doing on that particular day. Nice. So what you have in front of you is what you need on the 17th of May. You can just flip through the school and you can find out what activities, what time, who to contact. And so we're excited once again for the administration and the staff for putting that together. We will be leaving here, and we're going to be downstairs outside at the portico. And as men, we just kind of gather and fellowship. We have our lunches will be delivered very soon. And to council members, if you would send a staff person down, we'd be more than happy to make sure that we send up a lunch to you. We're going to kind of raffle off a couple little shirts or something. We will give shirts to all the men who are participating. We are excited to do this again. We are so glad that you're recognizing us. And we also want everyone who is watching to keep in mind that we, City of Pittsburgh, we are the lead city on men getting involved in the education of children. Before we close, I just want to take a moment. If there was someone I haven't acknowledged, but if there's someone that needs to share something that's here representing, because we have quite a few organizations that are represented. If there's anyone that needs to share anything, going once? Yes, sir.
That on Tuesday, April the 30th, State Rep Gainey is bringing the Take Your Father School Day Committee to Harrisburg to be recognized by the House of Representatives.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Melvin. That's a very important part. Well, we are finished. We are so thankful. Mr. President, sir, thank you very much.
Thank you. We're
Yes,
going to
sir.
take a photograph, so may we please have all members of council. And I'd just like to add what an amazing effort this is, and I'm proud and honored to participate in this for, I think, the last 5 or 6 years now. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's bring members in, please. Okay. Okay. You good? Okay. Okay. All right, we need everybody, if you'll move in, please, and we'll take a photograph. Okay. You gonna come up?
Give us a 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Okay. We good? Good. All right, everybody. Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yep. Thanks, guys. Okay. Be safe. Thank you. Right.
I'm not a father that I know of. What do I need to resolve? Right, yeah, no. I get triplets of
Thank you very much. Pleasure. I'm going to do you next, okay? Yeah. How are you doing? Good. She's doing well. 2 seconds, okay? 2 seconds, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. I was reading. Yeah, I was thinking of thank you, Councilman. Thanks for the suggestion.
We've got stuff to do.
Yeah, we can. I was thinking of doing that before.
Good job.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. And I was really pleased with how Bon Air handled that because I was really worried that they were going to be like, this isn't good. Madam Clerk? Madam Clerk. I'm going to do the procs, okay? I'm going to begin again. Is that okay? Do you need to be here? No. Okay. All right. Yes. Of the there was a printed copy. Would you like a second one? I'll get you a second one. I'd be happy to. Let me get you a second. Can you hang for a second? I'll get you another one. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Brasha, would you come out, please? Okay, Councilman Coghill, you're next.
Okay, can I ask Larry and Linda and John, right, John? Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. Come on up. It's a tough act to follow here this morning, folks, but not to be outdone. We got a little bit good accomplishments ourselves, so.
Morning. Welcome. Good. How are you? Good. Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
I want to thank those fathers. You know, what a great inspirational thing that they're doing. I got to tell you, I'm going to sign up for a library card, my first one. So I'm going to be one of the 100. Yes.
Make sure you sign up for the one in Beachview, in my
Yep,
district.
absolutely. I'm a little nervous about going back to school, though, I'll tell you. I get the like heebie-jeebies on that. But so, folks, we have Larry, Jim, and Linda with us today. Larry, we got two proclamations for them. And one is revolved around the high school football team and the cheerleaders of 1968-1969 from South Hills High School, which is near and dear to me. It's where my parents went to school and pretty much everybody I know at that point, until Brashear came along. So, okay, whereas on April 26th, 2019, the South Hills High School Alumni Association will recognize and honor former members of the 1968-69 Pittsburgh Public Schools City League Football Championship team, coaches, and third annual Sports Hall of Fame dinner and induction ceremony. And the honorees have demonstrated the true meaning of sportsmanship and character by excelling on and off the field during their scholastic and post-scholastic careers. And the honorees have achieved championship status and performed at the highest degree. And the city of Pittsburgh is in appreciation of these men and women for their dedication and contribution to the South Hills High School and the Pittsburgh Public Schools. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend the athletes and coaches of the 68-69 South Hills High School football team and cheerleading squad. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019 to be 1968-69 South Hills High School City League Football Championships Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
Here. May I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go right into another wonderful thing that Larry and the folks do here, and that's the Sports Hall of Fame. Whereas, on April 26, 2019, the South Hills High School Alumni Association will recognize and honor former student athletes, coaches, and administrators at the third annual Sports Hall of Fame dinner induction ceremony. And the honorees have demonstrated and exemplified the true meaning of sportsmanship and character. And whereas the honorees have excelled in their respective sports during the scholastic and post-scholastic careers. And the honorees have achieved championship status performing at the highest degree. And in appreciation and thanks to these men and women for their dedication and contribution to South Hills High School and the Pittsburgh Public Schools. And now therefore it be resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend Marcella Strutzel DeMarco, Ph.D., George Couples, Russell Knipp, Thomas Bigley, Pat Batula, George Bradford, John DeFazio, Don Elzer, Michael Johnson, Ronald Leneve, James Lowen, Bill Zentergraf, and Carl Wade for their induction into the South Hills High School All Sports Hall of Fame. I know a couple of those fellows. Be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019 to be the South Hills High School All Sports Hall of Fame Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
May I have a motion and a second, please? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Congratulations.
My name ever come in front of you for that Sportsman Hall of Fame? You have to be out so many years. Come on up, Larry, and say a few words, would you? Thank you. Yes.
First of all, my name is Larry Anderson, and I'm a class of 1969. And I want to thank President Krause and Anthony Coghill for allowing us the opportunity to be here today and honoring South Hills High School. And I'm sure that you all know that South Hills closed in 1986, but we're probably the largest alumni association in Western Pennsylvania. We have many people that are involved in what we have been doing over the past, I don't know how many years, but we've been having a dinner for distinguished alumni for the last 50 plus years. And 2 years ago, we started a Sports Hall of Fame. And with the help of Reverend Burgess in helping us do the proclamation, I certainly want to, and by the way, he's a personal friend of mine, and I do go to his church, so I have to recognize him anyway. And he gave me $5. But I really think that, let me back up. We have Linda Stocker, and she is our membership chairman. And we also have Jim Christner, and Jim is our secretary, but as well as our chairman of our scholarship program. And this is one of the reasons, and we're doing this, is because we're raising money for scholarships for relatives of members of the Alumni Association. Fortunately, last year, my son received a $1,000 scholarship from South Hills in the Alumni Association, and he is at Morehouse College now. The other son is at Tuskegee, and we're very proud of them, being associated with South Hills, although South Hills is closed. But this year, I believe that this is a special year for honoring not only the team from 1968-69 school year, because it's been 50 years that they haven't been recognized, but Johnny DeFazio, George Couples, Russell Knipp was an Olympic weightlifter. And I can go on, and I can depict all of the people that are in this proclamation. But I really think that it is a very unique year that we're celebrating, these people right here. If Linda or Jim want to say a few words, I just want to, again, thank President Krause and Anthony Coghill. His mother went to school, not with me. No. But I just really, my heart is in South Hills, and I just want to thank you all for allowing us the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to thank the city of Pittsburgh and the public school system. To imagine that the school closed in '86, we have enough alumni still interested and had such a good education from that city school. We raised $22,000 for people this year for scholarships, and we do it repeatedly year after year after year on a school that closed back in '86. So that school really had an impact on an awful lot of people. So city schools, and they're wonderful in the city. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Yeah, may we have all members, please?
Do you want to take pictures for him?
Yep, he will.
Right, you get next to Larry, all right? Well, then you're the original. You wanted to hook me up in the first place. Before for sure.
And I have stories about my brother-in-law swimming there.
a lot of people didn't believe that.
TJ's 29. He was like, that's disgusting.
Okay. Okay. Councilwoman Harris, may we have you next, please?
Sure. See, I know. Naked.
Okay, would all those come that are with Allen's Place forward, please? I remember when we first got Allen's Place on the north side of Pittsburgh, and it's been 10 great years, and they have helped so many people, and the north side really appreciates you. Okay, so this proclamation is celebrating 10 years already. Wow, time goes fast. And whereas Allen's Place Community Service, Inc. is celebrating its 10th anniversary for its dedication to health and wellness promotion programs. This anniversary is a historical mark in healthcare records to ensure that the right information gets delivered to the community members for advancing human health and spiritual engagement programs. And whereas Allen's Place will hold the Come Gather at the Table of a Minorities Health Awareness and Support Dinner on Friday, April 26, 2019. This dinner aims to salute the notable physicians and nurses, specialists, and research clinicians. And whereas the honorees have fostered partnerships of promoting the chain of trust and display faith, health, promoting and community service in improving health outcomes for Allegheny County community, the health and wellness initiatives, workshops, and outreach. And whereas the physicians honored are, and they couldn't all be here with us today, Dr. David Anderson, Dr. Christopher Allen, Dr. Annette Edwards, Dr. Stephen Evans, Dr. Rhonda Johnson, Dr. Dana McBride Banks, and Dr. Rhonda Moore Johnson. And whereas the nurse specialist honorees are Pamela Bully, Lena Cozine, Anna Germany, Elaine Jenkins, Dr. Millie Jones, LaShawn Kemp, Dorita Lemon Falls, Edith Smith Ridley, and Reverend Lee Esther Sanders, Lorraine Starkey, and Julia Suber. And whereas the research clinician honoree is Jacqueline Simon, and whereas on Saturday, April 27th, 2019, the Minority Health Observation Summit is hosted by Allen's Place in Westmoreland County, and Summit Health Awareness Day theme is to create a culture of health promotion, pathways to traumatic intervention programs in the church and in the community. The summit is to provide the opportunity to explore alternate paths that enable families to have open channels of communication for the quality and safety in dealing with victims of violence. And whereas the Minority Health Summit has 3 objectives for the participants. The first objective is to increase awareness of health risks associated with traumatic environment. The second objective is to explore strategies to build trust and engage families and caregivers in ensuring health services needed are addressed. And the third objective is to inform participants of local, state, and national health services and resources. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Friday, April 26, 2019, and Saturday, April 27, 2019, to be Minority Health Awareness Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
May I have a motion and a second, please? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Congratulations.
Good morning to Council President
Good morning.
and to Council members. I am Jerry Ann Allen, and I am the President and the CEO of Allen Place Community Services. Yes, we did start 10 years ago, and I cannot believe how time has passed as we have embarked on a number of programs that have been successful in our community. I am so proud that as a retired registered nurse, that my faith and the work that I have shared can live on through the Northside community, and it has filtered to many of your areas as well. As we bring members of the City of Pittsburgh together to share information and to share their expertise with resources to help us live better lives in our individual homes and in our church communities, and to be better citizens of the City of Pittsburgh. On Friday, the dinner that was mentioned in our proclamation, it stands out because a number of physicians have made their way to Pittsburgh, whether they were born here or transferred into our city. They are making history every day as they continue to reach out to minorities, building trust that was not evident in our city. A number of people do not comply to medical decisions or help because they cannot find the trust factor. I am so glad today that we were able to identify physicians that a number of our community members shared, how they have made a difference in the healthcare arena from them, whether they are with one or the other health system. They are making behavioral and lifestyle changes. On today, I also just wanted to share with you, because we did not include in our proclamation those that are making a way to help us with the summit. And we want to give thanks to Reverend Michael Smith, Destiny International, Reverend Myrna Hollenbeck of Full Life Deliverance Ministries, Demira Underwood for the musical selections that she will bring on Saturday, and also to our sponsors for this event, Yvonne Cook, who is with Highmark Foundation and Dr. Christina Wiles, to Marcia Martin, who is over at Gateway Health, and to the Sam's Club, Ryan Dively, who is at the Mount Nebo Road store. We thank you. Also, this proclamation includes the Faith-Based Health Collaborative that is consistent of 33 churches, and where I serve and the Reverend Dr. Brenda Gregg, we serve as co-chairpersons for the Faith-Based Collaborative, where churches that we are working with can make a difference in the community with understanding what to do in terms of helping our memberships. On Saturday, we have enlisted the service of a health advisory committee of Elaine Jenkins, who will be moderator, Elder Maddie Woods of Petra International, who will also be a speaker, Eric Cofield from Triumph Baptist Church, Ruth Bass of Gate of Heaven, which is in Monessen, and Linda Fleming Heath, who is from St. Lawanga Catholic Church. At the 10 o'clock comes before 11. For the traumatic intervention, we have Dr. Lovey Foster of the Department of Health and Human Services, work with the Children and Youth Division, that will be a speaker. Dr. Noble Mazaru from the University of Pittsburgh School of Minority Health. Dr. Benjamin Kazru, who is a trauma surgeon with Allegheny General Hospital. Dr. Karen Hacker, who is our own Allegheny County Health Department. And Paul Pellman of the Highmark Diversity and Inclusion will be the moderator for that division. At 11 o'clock, we also have Caregiving for Children, where we have asked Jamela Hamlin, who is with Project Destiny, to be the moderator, Jesse McLean of Presley Ridge, Monique Brown of Pittsburgh Public School, Sheena Shannon of the Highmark Caring Place, along with Sarah Taylor and Katrina Lee, who actually are the owners of a health and wellness psychology service. A special thanks to Richard Garland, who will be our keynote speaker from the University of Pittsburgh at lunchtime. Laura Bray of the University of Pittsburgh, who is working with us on evaluation tools, we say thank you. To Dr. Milton Allen, who is also a founder of Allen Place, to Marvis Nichols, who is a program coordinator with Allen Place, and Charles Robinson, who is an associate intern with Allen Place. And not to leave off, Sarah Zielinski, who is the Allegheny General Trauma Prevention Coordinator. These have been great tools that we have worked with for the last 6 months, and we want to share this information with each and every one of you. There is no reason that we do not know what to do in the case of emergencies with our families. I want to say a special thank you to Dr. William Simmons, who has presented us with a historical perspective of physicians and other people in the medical field that have emerged from 1851 to 2005. It is an awesome story. And last but not least, to our president of the City Council, we say thank you.
Thank you.
And to our District 1 Councilwoman, Darlene Harris, we say thank you many times as we continue to call on your office to make a difference in the Northside community. And to each and every one of you council members, the things that you do every day for us, we do take note, and thank you.
Thank you.
Before ending, I'm going to ask my grandson, who has joined us here, Charles Robinson, because he has worked on this project, and I would be in trouble if I did not share this podium with him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do appreciate you sharing this podium with me because I don't think that we would have made it out of the city council building alive together. But I do thank you for your time today, city council members and city council president. We do encourage you to come out to the minority health events this Friday and Saturday. Friday will be the dinner and Saturday will be the summit at the Pittsburgh Theological Seminary. Please come out, and even if you could just show your face to just gather resources that not only you may be able to use, but members in your community as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I guess it's always behind a great woman is a great husband, and he's staying quiet today, and everybody's been introduced. However, CJ Charles, that's the only other CJ I know other than my grandson. So they hold those initials together. Since we really service not only just the city of Pittsburgh here, but Allegheny County, would all the council members like to come up for a
May we have all
picture?
members, please?
Yes.
This is yours. That Larry's a good guy. Looks like he can. Looks like he's stuck. You know.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Okay. Madam Clerk, there are two proclamations to be read into the record from Councilman O'Connor. May I have Councilwoman Cale Smith for Councilman O'Connor, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilman O'Connor presents, be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Sunday, April 28, 2019, to be Uncathlon Day in the City of Pittsburgh. Also, Councilman O'Connor presents, be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Sunday, April 28, 2019, to be Vesak Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. May I have a motion and a second, please? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions, motion's passed. That concludes the proclamation portion of the council meeting, and that will take us into public comment. Anyone wishing to speak before City Council this morning, of course, will have 3 minutes in which to do so. I am going to take this opportunity to remind those here that our rules of council are very clear. They state comment is limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation which are at this time or could at another time come before this council. Profanity is not permitted, and we will maintain order at all times. I ask that you please begin by giving your name and the neighborhood in which you reside for our public record. When the green light begins, it will indicate the start of your 3 minutes. When the yellow light comes on, you will have 1 minute to summarize your thoughts. When the red light comes on, your time has expired. Good morning, Ms. Brown.
Good morning. My name is Yvonne F. Brown. I live in the Hill District. Last week I was here, I was upset. I listened to 90.5 FM, and they said citywide meeting for the police in Lawrenceville. What? So anyway, I come down, I wrote Lavelle a note, and I even gave a note to the mayor's second man in command, and it was very rude and upset. And to the mayor, if you're looking, I do apologize because I found out you didn't know today from Mr. Gainey. When I said to Mr. Gainey about Lawrenceville, and I'm saying they had a meeting, oh, wait a minute, Ms. Brown, let me explain. Every month they have a meeting down there. No, this was about terrorism. He said, what? Yes, terrorism. That's what it's written about. So you see that even they don't even think that much of the mayor. How come our mayor and councilmen don't know? It's about terrorism. Terrorism. We all should know that. Anytime someone can go where the president of the United States is golfing and she can get into the room, that could have been terrorism. But why can't we as black people, poor people, anytime you have a meeting, why can't it be down here? Lawrenceville, one bus. Top of the hill, one bus. For us to get to Lawrenceville, 2 buses. You know what? When Kaylee Irvis died, I came for a meeting. Every councilman had went to his funeral. I seen Pratik, the one that died. I said, Pratik, would they want him, would Lavelle want them to be at his funeral or in his office, in this building? He said he was for the people. He didn't want Jens at his funeral. He wanted you to be here. But he has a building up there. We're up there. We can't even get a bus to the hospital at the bottom of the hill. We must take 2 buses. You put Shop and Save. The lady 85 with her challenged son must go to Shop and Save, then take a bus to get back up on the 2 streets up. She got to go through town. She stopped me. I done told you this before. She stopped me. She said, Yvonne, this makes no sense. And her son is right there. She said, I just came from Shop and Save. I live at the top of the hill. I got to come downtown to get back home. I went to the county council, took petitions. He said that I had to talk to this certain woman. And I went to say, speak. He said, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I knew if he said that, that woman said, don't deal with it. It's been, 2 or 3 years? He didn't even take it to county council. He didn't take our petition. Because that woman. See, I'm tired of this politics. You got Lavelle, you got Wheatley. I asked him to come to the meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
In the Hill House, he wouldn't let me.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Next speaker, please.
Is there someone before me?
Go ahead.
No, if it's your next.
No. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
I am so thankful to be here, and the reason that I'm here, and I have been a little late, I have injections in my knees now, so I am getting older as a senior citizen. But I'm here for 2 reasons, and of course my one reason is people are sending me information on who to vote for city council. That is the first time this has ever happened to me. They usually would call me and ask me, who would you like and who do you want on your city council? Because they always respected my answers that my mother and my dad had taught me to say. And I'm here to say today, and I know that you will understand, I'm in Brighton Heights right now, and I am supporting Darlene Harris. And why am I doing that? Because she takes care of Brighton Heights. I go to the senior citizen on McClure Avenue, and things that we need, she always takes care of. And I had to learn that from our Parks and Recreation Center staff. So I just want to let you know, if I lived in the Hill District, I would certainly be with Mr. Lavelle. I would be West End, I would be with you, Smith. If I was Westinghouse, if I was any, I would be with you, because you give us proclamations. You constantly say thank you to everyone who's done something special. And Southside, of course, up there with our president. And I just wanted to say thank you for your work that you do, the clerks that are here, the photographer that is here, and I'm blessed to be a part of it as a citizen and as a voter. My second is my father, as I've told many times, was a city detective with Mayor Lawrence, and he appointed him. And even though I am against the gun, I am for the gun because his gun protected many people in many ways. And once I was picked up the phone and I told my dad, Western Penitentiary is calling you, can you get there? And I saw him strap on the gun. But when he went there, he came back home 2 hours later and picked up the young man that had escaped, went to the mother and said, where's your son? Went and got him and brought him back. So that's what that gun was for. And I'm always thankful, and I'm thankful again for Darlene Harris being my councilwoman, and for every one of you at City Hall and our council chambers and our judges, because without our judges, my dad said we are no one. So I must thank our judges who take care of me every day. And thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Okay, next speaker, please.
Morning, Council.
Good morning,
David
Mr.
Adams, 119 White Pine Place, East Hills District is where our office is. I wanted to come today because we're absolutely elated with the opportunity to share with the city, but I also have a corporate criteria that I have to fulfill, which is sharing transparency with this body and also to make public record of national development. We've already sent this to Washington, to the Department of Homeland Security, the National Academies of Science.
Mr. Adams, I need you to use the microphone, please.
I'm sorry?
I need you to use the microphone, please. We're recording. We need you to use the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Over the past 7 years, and you may remember in 2013, I sent this body a letter inviting you all to Clairton. Some of you weren't here, but most of you were. Inviting you to the city of Clairton to see the nation's first Department of Disaster Resilience. When the federal government called us in 2013, our corporation, to come in, this is because we are the only national public service corporation in the nation and or the world.
I need you to use the microphone, please, Mr. Adams.
We have over 500,000 citizens who share information with us. It's not just domestically, it's also globally. When we come before you to share information with you, it is the best information you'll find anywhere. So what we want to show you is what the results of what the federal government called for. In 2013, they asked for new and innovative systematic approaches to local emergency planning with an astute ability to increase the resilience of local citizens to the destructive effects of disaster and emergencies. CESD is a multi-tiered, 4-level, first time in history emergency planning system that works from a state level, from a county level, from a local level, and for the first time ever, taking it to the most vulnerable citizens we discovered in this region, which would be the neighborhood level. You're hearing right now Ms. Brown talking about she didn't get information with this, with that. I've been trying to share with you all for the past 3 years the opportunity just to share with you how you can get on the ground floor of better serving your constituents. The information we have for you, you don't have. The ability of this system to do for you what you cannot do for yourself. But what we've received is what we call political dysfunction. When you, as a political element, are creating vulnerabilities for your citizens, because I represent citizens, and I do a hell of a job coming before and representing those citizens. You represent the citizens as well. Together we're called public servants. Why are we bumping heads? Mr. Burgess, I'm speaking. Why are we bumping heads when we both are doing the same job? One of our ships is not sailing in the same direction. This is citizen steered, operated, controlled, and sustained. We don't need your money. We don't need your participation, but we'd love to have your collaboration.
Thanks, Mr. Adams.
But we're not going to beg for it.
Thank you.
This
Mr.
is up to you to decide what you're going to
Thank
do,
you,
because
Mr.
we
Adams.
did it here. And the only embarrassing
Thank you,
thing is
Mr.
taking it
Adams.
somewhere else for it to work somewhere else.
Thank you.
This is for you.
Okay. May we have our next speaker, please? Okay, good morning, Dr. Miller.
I'm Dr. Ronald N. Miller, Beltsuver and Squirrel Hill, and elsewhere in the city. I'm a Global Intelligence Society candidate for President 2020. There are a lot of issues that confront this council. There are a lot of issues that confront our state and our country, and I can't think of anything more important than what Mr. Adams just said and what it is that he and his group are trying to do. One of the ways to understand that is through what he refers to as the conscience group. That matters a very great deal. And another thing that matters a very great deal to me is that he and his cohort are not asking for any money from anybody, especially not from the government. I also understand that you perceive yourselves to be extremely busy, but it is your job to answer people when they contact you from within the city. You know, we do pay each of you nearly $60,000 a year to respond to questions, to offer your interpretation of concern. You did so, I think, very well, at least those of you who were here, Ms. Harris especially, and Ms. Gross, Gail Smith, at the PWSA interview for Dr. Domak. Although I have said, I think that opened up a lot. It opened up a lot on the axis of science, because I think we really need that here. It was one of the criticisms that Amazon had when they turned down the HQ2 for Pittsburgh, that our people, including graduates from our Pittsburgh public school system, they're just not up to especially the scientific job. Now, I think that's something that all of you on the council, Office of Mayor, should be stressing, that it is not only important, but our people are able to understand scientific concepts, especially to do coding. I did find it very peculiar. It was peculiar maybe only to me that $248,000 was laid out by the city and the county and other foundation sources for Maya Design to help with that persuasion, which didn't really work. I think that was an excess amount of money to be spent for that. By contrast, a couple of weeks ago, there was $248 for stress balls for a women's luncheon that the city paid for. Now, it didn't say where this women's luncheon was or who was behind it. See, we need specific information so we can make sense out of and direct responses to our emails, to our texts, to our telephone calls we make to you. It's extremely important for citizens to be citizens via what Ms. Brown says, what Mr. Adams says, here and elsewhere.
Thanks, Dr. Miller.
Mr. President, may I submit these to the clerk, please?
Always.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
This is a copy for everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Adams. Thank you. Seeing no further speakers, then that will conclude public comment portion of the council meeting and take us into the presentation of papers. We will begin with our Chair of Finance and Law, Councilman Burgess. Good morning, Councilman.
Councilman Reverend Burgess presents Bill Number 1595, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the city solicitor to enter into an agreement for the hiring of SciComm Data Systems, Inc., to continue maintaining and upgrading city law, the Department of Law's legal case management and administrative support software system at a cost not to exceed $11,346. Bill Number 1596, Resolution providing for the sale of certain property acquired by the City of Pittsburgh at tax sales, items A through G, 2602 Webster, 7131.5 Vassar, 7626 and 7728 Susquehanna, 622 Grace, 2 Noblestown, and 2925 Hartman. Bill Number 1597, Resolution providing for the filing of petitions for the sale of certain property acquired at tax sales to the city-based Community Development Corporation for the purpose of advancing the interests of the community through redevelopment, items A through J, 401 Rosedale, 845 Excelsior, 1611 Antrim, 3306 Fleming, 1513 Antrim, 3259 McClure, 3261, 3267, 3269, and 3271 McClure. Bill 1598, Resolution providing for the conveyance by the city of certain property having been placed for sale to adjourning property owners in conjunction with the City of Pittsburgh Side Yard Program, items A through L, 5221 Hillcrest, 415 North Graham, 427 Vidalia, 627 Chess, 155 Fairview, 800 Freedmore, 0 Marquez, 1614 and 1518 Brighton, 3809 Bonaventure, 2717 and 2719 Staten.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilman Coghill, our Chair of Urban Recreation.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Gross, our Chair of Land Use and Economic Development. May I have Councilwoman Harris for Councilwoman Gross.
Thank you, Mr. Kraus.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill number 1599, resolution providing for the designation as a historic structure under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances that certain structure known as the South Side Presbyterian Church in the South Side neighborhood in the 17th Ward of the city.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Harris, our Chair of Human Resources.
Thank you, Mr. Kraus.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Harris presents Bill number 1600, resolution providing that the city enter into a professional services agreement and/or contract with PSI Services, Talent Measurement and Education for professional consulting services in connection with police officer recruit candidate examination and selection services, and providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $225,000 over 3 years, subject to appropriation by City Council.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilman Lavelle, our Chair of Public Safety Services. Thank you, Councilman. And Councilman O'Connor, our Chair of Intergovernmental Affairs, and Councilman Lavelle for Councilman O'Connor.
President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman O'Connor presents Bill number 1601, resolution providing for an agreement, providing for the design, repairs, maintenance, improvements, emergencies, and/or the purchase of materials, equipment, and supplies in connection with the I-579 CAP project, and providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $31,675,054. Bill number 1602. Resolution amending Resolution 468, authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure on behalf of the city to enter into agreements with the Sports and Exhibition Authority of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County in order to disperse certain funds to city for and facilitate construction of the I-579 CAP project in order to provide authorizations to acquire certain additional funding to facilitate construction of the I-579 CAP project.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Teresa Kell Smith, our Chair of Public Works Services.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Kell Smith presents Bill number 1603, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works to enter into a professional services agreement between the city and Winston Design Development for architectural and engineering design services for a series of interior remodels for 6 fire stations within the city for the not to exceed amount of $407,872.66. Bill number 1604. Resolution amending Resolution number 438 to extend the proposed term duration of a new lease agreement between the city and Phillips Conservatory and Botanical Garden for the Scoff Garage and Garden Center facility. Bill number 1605. Resolution granting unto Deborah Harden their successors and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense a handicap ramp with handrail and landing at 1804 Chislett Street in the 10th Ward, 7th Council District. Bill number 1606, resolution providing for use of an agreement and/or contract with AECon Technical Services, Inc. in order to assist the city with traffic support services and provide for the payment at a cost thereof not to exceed $30,689.89.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Strasburger, our Chair of Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management. May I have Councilwoman Kell Smith for Councilwoman Strasburger.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman. The Chair does have one appointment to the Shade Tree Commission. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Council President Kraus presents Bill number 1607, resolution appointing Alicia Cardberry as a commissioner of the Shade Tree Commission of the City of Pittsburgh for a term to expire May 31st, 2021.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. What is the council's pleasure? I think we all know Ms. Carberry well. Councilwoman Harris?
Is she new to the commission?
It is not a reappointment, it is an appointment.
Then I think that we should interview her.
Is there a desire to interview? Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it. If you
Okay.
want to interview.
We have
I
a
mean,
s-
I don't see
You
why.
can't treat people differently.
I know. I'm just saying that she's been around here at the table every. She's been the one doing most of this stuff.
Yeah,
in the
I
city.
think we all know.
But I mean, I understand. If you want to interview her, I understand. So second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Do we need roll call or a voice vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Motion passes. We will work with the clerk's office then to schedule Ms. Carberry for interview. That's it. We'll move on to unfinished business, and with no unfinished business before the council, we will proceed to reports of committee for final action and begin once again with Councilman Burgess, our Chair of Finance and Law. Thank you, Councilman. Thank you. Okay. Okay, great.
Councilman Reverend Burgess presents Bill number 1591, Report of the Committee on Finance and Law for April 17, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1530, Resolution authorizing the issuing of a warrant in favor of Tucker Independent Medical Experts in an amount not to exceed $9,900 for professional services in connection with litigation. Bill number 1531, resolution providing for the issuing of a warrant in the total sum of $5,000 in favor of Linda Green as final settlement related to the action filed in the Common Pleas Court of Allegheny County. Bill number 1559, resolution authorizing issuing of a warrant in the total amount of $4,545.19 in favor of Rental Cars of Western Maryland, Inc. for damage to a rental vehicle from an accident with a City of Pittsburgh dump truck near 1621 Sawmill Run Boulevard on November 8, 2018.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title of the bills under our Committee on Finance and Law. Do we have further discussion on any of the bills? Okay, seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bills will vote aye when their names are called. Those opposed will vote no. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross. Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor. Mrs. Cal Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger. Mr. Cross, President.
Aye.
Aye 6, no 0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The bills having received then the legally required number of votes are finally passed. Our next committee is our Committee on Human Resources. Our chair is Councilwoman Darlene Harris. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Harris presents Bill number 1592, Report of the Committee on Human Resources for April 17, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1309, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Human Resources and Civil Service and the director of the Department of Innovation and Performance to enter into a professional services agreement and/or contracts with Ceridian Human Capital Management, Inc. for a citywide time and attendance system and providing for the payment of the cost thereof, not to exceed $1,720,000.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title of this bill under our Human Resources Committee. Do we have further discussion on the bill? Then seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their names are called. Those opposed will vote no. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross. Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Cross, President.
Aye.
Aye 6, no 0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The bill then, having received the legally required number of votes, is finally passed. Our next committee is our Committee on Land Use and Economic Development. Our chair is Councilwoman Deborah Gross. May I have Councilwoman Harris for Councilwoman Gross? Thank you, Councilwoman. Chair.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill number 1593, Report of the Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for April 17, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1546, resolution amending resolution number 50, so as to transfer funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance and transfer these funds to Birmingham Foundation, $176.74. Bill number 1547, resolution amending resolution number 51, so as to transfer funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance and transfer these funds to Birmingham Foundation. Bill number 1548, resolution amending resolution number 195, so as to reprogram funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance, formerly Wireless Neighborhoods, to Birmingham Foundation. That's $7,365.46. Bill number 1549, resolution amending resolution number 196, so as to reprogram funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance to Birmingham Foundation. That's $7,365.46. Bill number 1550, resolution amending resolution number 199, so as to reprogram funds within the City Council office from Bridge Committee to Northside Leadership Conference Bridge Committee and Mount Washington CDC Quality of Life Committee to Elliott West End Athletic Association, $579.48. Bill number 1551, resolution amending resolution number 200, so as to reprogram funds within City Council from Bridge Committee to Northside Leadership Conference Bridge Committee, $5,000, and Mount Washington CDC Quality of Life Committee to Elliott West End Athletic Association, $5,579.48. Bill number 1552, resolution amending resolution number 197, so as to reprogram funds within City Council's office from Neighborhood Learning Alliance Wind Char Seniors Rent Youth Places Hurricane Youth Athletic Association to Birmingham Foundation Wind Char Seniors Rent, $3,000, and Computer Reach, $3,000. Bill number 1553, resolution amending resolution number 198, so as to reprogram funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance Wind Char Seniors Rent Youth Places Hurricane Youth Athletic Association to Birmingham Foundation Wind Char Seniors Rent, $3,000, and Computers Reach, $3,000. Bill number 1554, resolution amending resolution 203, so as to issue a name change within City Council budget, Parks and Recreation, Southwest Pittsburgh CDC, to Computer Reach, $250, St. Andrew's Lutheran Church, $3,750, Associated Masters Plumbers of Allegheny County, $5,000, West End Power, $2,500, and Birmingham Foundation West Side Mustangs, $2,500. Bill number 1555, resolution amending resolution number 204, so as to perform a name change within City Council from Parks and Rec, Southwest Pittsburgh CDC, to Computer Reach, St. Andrew's Lutheran Church, Associated Masters Plumbers of Allegheny County, West End Power, and Birmingham Foundation West Side Mustang. Bill number 1556, resolution amending resolution 178, as to transfer funds within City Council from Bridge Committee, West End Employment Center, to Northside Leadership Conference Bridge Committee, $10,000, Birmingham Foundation West Side Mustang, $5,000, Pittsburgh Musical Theater, $5,000, Sheridan United Methodist Church Kids Club, $5,000, and the Education Partnership, $10,000. Bill number 1557, resolution amending resolution number 179, so as to transfer funds within City Council as follows: from Bridge Committee, West End Employment Center, to Northside Leadership Conference Bridge Committee, Birmingham Foundation West Side Mustangs, Pittsburgh Musical Theater, Sheridan United Methodist Church Kids Club, and the Education Partnership.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You have heard the reading and the title of the bills under our Land Use and Economic Development Committee. We have further discussion beginning with Councilwoman Mikhail-Smith.
Thank you. I just want to say most of this is my allocation for the CDBG funding for our office, but I really want to thank the Birmingham Foundation, because in our area we have a lack of 501c3s with the capacity to put the money out and be reimbursed the way that these dollars the federal government demands these dollars are allocated. And so I just want to thank the Birmingham Foundation, because without them, we would not have our our football programs, we would not have after-school programs, we would not have a lot of the things that they have really been helping us with, including the Mustangs uniforms, their trophies, a basketball program at Langley. The list is endless in what they help us with. And I really want to thank Mr. Bieber and the Mount Washington, the Ream Rec, formerly Ream Rec, which is now Mount Washington Community Center, they're all possible because Birmingham Foundation has graciously offered to serve as the financial conduit without taking one dime from us. They just do this just to help the community. And so I just cannot thank them enough, and I really think that they don't get the recognition as other foundations do, or that they deserve. So I really want to thank them for their work in our community. And they represent your area, correct?
They represent South Pittsburgh, and when I'll sit down one day and I'll tell you the story of how the Birmingham Foundation was formed. Okay, it's a really great story of the history behind the foundation, so and it is a wonderful foundation.
They're just amazing. So I just really want to thank them, because when I call around, we need right now. We're looking for someone to put the money out so we can have an employment center in our district, and just even that is just a challenge for us. Everything is a challenge without having an organization with that capacity to put the money up front first and wait for reimbursement. And they are so gracious. They wait for reimbursement. They never say, but I cannot tell you the things that we have in our district because of the Birmingham Foundation. Yes. So I really want to thank Mr. Bieber and the Birmingham Foundation tremendously for the work that we're able to do in District 2 because of their generosity.
Thanks, Councilwoman.
Willingness
Very nice.
To work with us.
Very nicely said.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. The bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bills will vote aye when their names are called, and those opposed will vote no. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess. Aye. Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle. Aye. Mr. O'Connor.
Aye.
Mrs. Couchsmith.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
Aye, 7, no, 0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The bills, then, having received the legally required number of votes, have finally passed. Our final committee of the morning is our Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. Our chair is Councilman Corey O'Connor. May I have Councilman Lavelle for Councilman O'Connor?
Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman O'Connor presents Bill number 1594, Report of the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs for April 17, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1560, Resolution authorizing the Mayor and the Director of the Department of Human Resources and Civil Service to enter into an interlocal cooperation agreement with the County of Allegheny and Partner for Work for the shared operation and administration of the 2019 Learn and Earn Summer Youth Employment Program in an amount not to exceed $1,500,000 for the payment of the cost thereof. Bill number 1561, Resolution providing for the authorization to make all legitimate expenditures for payments and agreements with various agencies to conduct a summer youth employment program to youth residing in the city, summer staff wages, and administrative expenditures necessary to implement the 2019 Learn and Earn Summer Youth Employment Program, and providing for the periodic transfer of funds to be used in the 2019 Learn and Earn Summer Youth Employment Program for payment of costs thereof, not to exceed $200,000. Bill number 1562, Resolution authorizing the URA to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, and to the publicly owned property, the 13th Ward of the city, Council District number 9, corner of North Braddock Avenue and Susquehanna Street. Bill number 1563, Resolution authorizing the URA to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned properties in the 13th Ward of the city, Council District number 9, 7537 and 7539 Susquehanna Street. Bill number 1564, Resolution providing for the execution of a corporation agreement with the URA for the administration of certain projects and programs, and providing for the payment of the cost thereof, not to exceed $2,550,000, Council Districts all. Bill number 1565, Resolution authorizing the URA to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned properties in the 5th Ward of the city, Council District number 6, 3312 and 3314 Camp Street. Bill number 1566, Resolution approving execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land by and between the URA and the Hill Community Development Corporation or any entity to be formed with respect to the sale of Block 10P, Lot 17 and 18, situated in the 5th Ward of the City Council District Number 6. Bill number 1567, resolution authorizing the mayor and the Office of Management and Budget to renew the non-exclusive license agreement with the Federal General Services Administration for the Veterans Affairs Highland Drive campus for limited use and to conduct due diligence pursuant to the application approved by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Department of Justice to acquire the property for law enforcement and emergency management purposes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title of the bills. Under our Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs, do we have further discussion on any of the bills? Okay, then seeing none, these bills are now ready for final action. And all in favor of the passage of the bills will vote aye when the names are called. Those opposed will vote no. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Excuse me. Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor. Mrs. Kell Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
Aye, 6, no, 0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The bills then, having received the legally required number of votes, are finally passed. That takes us into motions and resolutions. I just have a brief meeting announcement. Tomorrow, Wednesday, April the 24th at 2 p.m., Council will hold a Cablecast post-agenda discussion on the LERTA audit. And Madam Clerk, correct me if I'm wrong, do we have pre-interview appointments tomorrow morning? I can't remember if we scheduled those or not. That's okay. I'll make certain that if we do have pre-interviews tomorrow that I and the clerk's office reach out to members to make certain that you know. With that, Councilwoman Kell-Smith.
Thank you. I just wanted to, I missed the opportunity to thank Reverend Burgess on the bill for the summer youth employment. His work was in that has been tremendous, and I think that that program has grown so much since he has made that such a priority. And Reverend Burgess, I just want to thank you for that, because you've really done, I can't even explain to people what he's done in that regard, because it's really, we really were able to give every child a job that wanted a job last year, an opportunity to work. So thank you very much, Reverend, for making that a priority and making sure we all made it a priority as well.
Councilwoman, thank you. I think you speak for the council in its entirety. Thank you. Yes, we do have a pre-interview tomorrow at 9:30, and it is appointments to the members of the East Liberty TRID Revitalization Authority Board of Directors. So we'll see you at 9:30 tomorrow. If there's nothing else from members, may I have a motion to approve the minutes, excuse our absent member, and enjoy.
Adjourn the meeting.
Thank you. Adjourn the meeting.
So moved. So moved.
Thank you. We're adjourned. Thanks, everyone.